Okay, chapter 3. I'll say one more time for the cheap seats. There will not be a word bank. So you're going to have one um, fill in the blank question from chapter 3, and it's going to be one of these four. So 45% of Americans have less than $1,000 saved for an emergency fund. An investment's rate of return is its percentage of gain or loss over time. So an investment's rate of return is how much money you're going to get back or lose. Compound growth is the average rate of growth for an investment over a period of time. And the price of goods and services increases over time due to inflation. So one of those fill in the blanks is going to be on your test. And out of these six, excuse me, multiple choice questions, you're going to get three of them. So the first one, which of the following would be considered an emergency expense? Well, the book says it's blown out tire, but I think this was made a few years back because a lost cell phone would be an emergency expense to a lot of people. So if this question is on there, I'd accept either answer. Rate of return is a phrase used to describe what aspect of investing? Compound growth. In the five foundations, what is the third foundation? The third foundation is paying cash for your car. And then the last one, when you make a purchase but later wish you hadn't done so, you experience buyer's remorse. Oh, it's not the last one. I got two more. Okay, so which of the following questions helps you to determine if something is actually an emergency expense? Well, it's all of the above. Is it urgent? Is it unexpected? And is it necessary? All three of those questions need to be yes for it to be an emergency expense. And then now we're at the last multiple choice. What two elements do you need to build wealth through compound growth? You need money invested and time. All right, so here's the third review question. Why is it important to make an emergency fund your first financial priority? Emergencies will always happen. Without an emergency fund, it is easy to go into debt when it does happen. Most people can't handle a financial emergency without going into debt. Now, for these essay questions and short answer, you don't have to write exactly what I put. It just needs to be along those lines. So now we got the short answer. We're going to have one out of these short answer questions. How does Murphy's Law, which is anything can go wrong, anything that can go wrong will go wrong, apply to saving money? When you don't plan to save money, you're inviting trouble. So when emergencies happen, you won't have money to cover it. How does planning and saving for your future help you build wealth? The key is to save as soon as possible. Most millionaires don't make a million in a year. Um, they're just really good at saving. Now, you don't got to say all this stuff about millionaires. The answer to the question is the key is to start to save as soon as possible. Um, what are three questions to ask yourself before you spend your emergency fund? The same ones that were in that multiple choice question. Is it urgent? Is it necessary? And is it unexpected? Next, explain why making payments on a car is such a poor financial decision. Well, the average car payment is about $500, and a car's value drops like a rock. With interest, you'll end up paying way more for the car than it's worth. Well, again, you don't have to make it exactly like that, but the bottom line is you're paying for a car, and as soon as you drive it off the lot, it starts depreciating. The value goes down. If you pay $5,000 for a car, and then as soon as you drive it off the lot, it's not worth $5,000 anymore. You know, it might. Let's just say it's worth 4,500 as soon as you drive it off the lot. So it's depreciating. But the thing is, while your car's value is depreciating, your car payments because of interest are still way more. So you may buy a car for $5,000 um, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it's not worth $5,000 anymore. But because you got a car loan, you got to pay interest. So you may be paying $7, $8, $9,000 for a car that is not even worth the 5,000 that you had to start with in the first place. So that's why it's a poor financial decision. And then the last essay question: think back to the story of Jack and Blake. Explain how Jack ended up with more money in his investment account by the time he retired. When Blake invested more money. Well, this was in the book. We had Jack and Blake. They both invested some money, but Jack invested money earlier, and so even though Blake invested more money, you know, the thing is, Jack started investing earlier, so his investment got bigger because it started earlier, and so that's why he had more money. And that's chapter 3.